think I still make Daniel Dubois favourite, but that is a really close fight, tough fight to pick. I think Bivol wins. I think Bivol wins. I think it might be close again, but I think Bivol wins. And then we see the third one. Yeah. Like the Joshua fight, the Joshua win. That may always be his biggest moment. He might end up having better performances or beating bigger names, but there'll be nothing in his life that will be what that was.
Back here in West London with George Groves for our monthly boxing catch-up. How have you been, George?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I'm really good. Looking forward to this big weekend's action.
Yeah.
We're from Saudi, Riyadh season.
Yeah.
So it's a mega card.
Massive card, isn't it? They've named it the last crescendo, which is a bit of a
Yeah, what does
weird.
crescendo mean?
It means like it's building up to this huge, loud...
Boxing finished after this,
well,
then.
that's what I was
That
thinking,
could be a worry, couldn't it? Jesus, no.
Riyadh season needs to carry on,
Yeah.
you know. But to be fair to Turkey and the boys out there, they've put on this amazing card. So people complain about the lack of atmosphere, but what would you rather have, the fights or no fights? So
yeah,
fights,
true. I mean, we just like to complain as boxing fans do.
That's it, we do, don't we? But yeah, we've got the questions are: will Daniel Dubois remain world champion? Will Bivol get revenge against Beterbiev? Will British middleweight Hamza Shiraz win his maiden world title? So where should we start? I mean, the card actually kicks off at 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, which is pretty early, but obviously the time difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of time difference, but that's what happens when you've got these stacked cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a show every night of the week if they wanted to. You know, this many quality fights that are happening. But yeah, 4:30 we've got to kind of get bedded in, haven't we, for a long night of boxing?
Yeah. We'll still be watching football probably. Yeah, have to change over from the football to this.
Yeah, you don't want to peak too soon, do you?
No,
not with the fights that are coming.
No, but it's Callum Smith and Joshua Buatsi kicking off the card at 4:30 p.m. Obviously, you've been in the ring with Callum Smith. He's a bit past his peak, would you say now? Whereas Joshua Buatsi is coming into maybe the peak of his career. Yeah,
it's a fascinating one because in many ways both guys could be past their peak. You know, Buatsi, product of the 2016 Olympics, I think he was, and you know, even back then, I remember he was in the gym with me sparring, and as an amateur just turning professional, really impressed with him. Like really impressed with how of an all-round fighter that he was. He was, you know, he was big and strong and powerful, but really clever, and you know, would be great work, you know, for me. And like nothing to take away from Buatsi at that point, but you know, a fresh amateur in there with an experienced pro, world champion at the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, he would be in there and he'd give me 6-8 rounds of solid work where I had to be switched on. So I thought he would be a world champion by now, and he would have been a world champion for a few years. You know, COVID's come and maybe a few other issues he's had, and obviously the two best guys at light heavyweight are so dominant at the moment.
So far ahead, yeah.
It hasn't happened for him. But Callum Smith, who I had my last fight against in 2018, end of 18, I think it was. So that's, you know, over 6 years ago now. So, you know, that's how long he's been operating at the top level.
Yeah.
You know, had the loss against Canelo, but I don't think that was a fair reflection of his ability. At times throughout his career, Callum Smith has blown hot, blown cold. And when he's up for it, he's very dangerous. And when he's not, he's not. Yeah. You know, I think he was probably weight drained at super middleweight, up at light heavyweight, done really well, got destroyed against Beterbiev.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I think he's done well. This is a really good fight. This could be who's got the right guy at the right time. Because, both guys have got to come in and be on form. Because I think if they're not, and the other guy is firing all cylinders, they'll definitely get the win.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. I think Buatsi is the favourite with the bookies. Would you go along with that, or would you rather have Callum Smith and the experience that he has at this level? Yeah,
but Buatsi's had them couple of little domestic fights. They're not domestic fights as in the standard of opposition, because you know, he beat Craig Richards, who's operated at world level. He's beat Dan Aziz, who's former European champion, and they were at times tough fights he had to get through and were close.
Yeah.
But he's got the win, so that would give him, you know, that experience. But when you factor it in against what Callum Smith's been in with, you know, he's fought world champions, he's been a world champion. I don't think there'll be any fear going into this. It's just, whether the legs are a bit more tired and he's just not quite as fresh. But we'll see. I think it's a great fight. It's a fight that both guys need to have. And at the moment where all the belts are occupied, you can't really afford a slip up, because when that opportunity comes, if the belts do sort of fragment or whatnot, you want to be
there. You want to be there.
You want to be at the front of the queue.
That's it. But that's what's so good about this card, is that there's really none of these fights are gimmies, aren't they? They're both kind of almost 50-50s. Same with Hamza Shiraz against Carlos Adames. You know, he's gone straight in going for the hardest belt to win, really, in that division. You got to respect that. But this is Adames' third defense. Really another 50-50 fight, you could say. Make an argument for both of them. Yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of Adames, but Shiraz of late, I feel, has been one of the most improved fighters in British boxing.
Yeah.
You know, he's rose to the occasion time and time again. He carries himself like a champion now, and been a regular and a key figure of the sort of the Riyadh season shows, which comes with it a lot of pressure, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know that, you've got fortunate enough to be part of these big shows. You're probably getting paid well for it, but you know if you mess up, you're out.
That's it, yeah. Because people are talking about him potentially unifying the division further down the road if he wins here. That's even more pressure on his shoulders.
Yeah,
but he seems to thrive on it. He doesn't seem to feel it.
I think so. You know, he's huge for the weight. Really, really big.
Tall guy, isn't
tall
he?
in a way. Punches hard. And the guys who, a few years ago, you might not have backed Shiraz to have made the improvements that he'd done. You think would have given problems, but now they don't.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely a future world champion. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and does a really good job.
Yeah, stoppage win, you reckon?
I think it can happen, because you wouldn't back against his power,
no.
And he goes for the finish. When he puts his shots together and he gets the guys hurt, he's good at closing the show. So I'd back him for a stoppage win.
Daniel Dubois, obviously we've seen his power against Anthony Joshua, but it's a different kind of prospect for him now, isn't it? Joseph Parker, someone who just has that stamina and doesn't seem to get hurt easily at all. But he has been, I think he's been stopped once in his career, hasn't he? Who was it who stopped him? I've got it down here.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He definitely went points for Joshua.
Yeah, he's been points with lots of people.
Yeah, did Joyce stop him?
That was it, Joe Joyce, that's right.
The juggernaut, he's not quite the same force he was a few years ago, but he was a force not that long ago.
Yeah. But on such a good winning streak now, beating Deontay Wilder, Zhilei Zhang, could you see him causing an upset here? Because Dubois has got to be favourite.
Yeah, I think, you go Dubois favourite, but this is a tough fight because Joseph Parker is in form and, he looks like much more of an athlete now. I think he was always a good boxer and he always had that boxing ability about him that he had to use to have success in the heavyweight division, because as much as he's a big dude, he wasn't the biggest of heavyweights, but a former world champion. And uses his boxing ability at times to get wins. A few losses on the record, so you'd say, has he found his level? But of late, I feel like it's not just he beat Wilder and he got off the floor to beat Zhang, because sometimes those wins can backfire against you. They can be flattering, but they are good wins. And I feel like just looking at Joseph Parker now, the way his body's made up, he looks stronger, he looks fitter, he looks more in tune mentally, and he's a real force. I'm sure he knows now at this stage of his career where now is his chance to really capitalise, really make something for himself.
That's it.
And he can't afford a loss, like no one really can.
No.
You don't want to become just another name, another body. So he's got another shot against Daniel Dubois, who is in great form, but will
Dubois be going in with the same kind of mindset and tactics that he did with AJ? But it's not really the same kind of style of fighter, is it? So he's going to have to adapt, and it'll be interesting to see if he can, because people have kind of said he's a bit of a one-trick pony with the power punching, but maybe he's got more.
It's a good trick, isn't it?
It's a great trick.
If it's his trick, it's a good trick.
Yeah.
He must have frightening power. Frightening power.
So they were doing a grip test. Did you see that video? All the fighters, Beterbiev, Bivol, they're all doing a grip, and he had obviously the strongest grip. I think 86.7 kg grip strength. Don't know what that means, but
it might be the plate he's lifting up.
No, you have to squeeze this thing, and it gives you a number on it. So yeah, we'll have to get one in here, test everyone's
Yeah.
but anyway,
Give me a bit of notice, so I'll make sure I got.
warm the hands up.
Yeah.
It's a bit cold in here today, isn't it?
But he's I think I still make Daniel Dubois favourite, but that is a really close fight, tough fight to pick.
Yep.
Daniel Dubois, when he's on form and when he brings that pressure, because he does shape up really well. I think his style of fighting, like the way he holds his hands and the way he moves his head, and it's almost like an improvement fight on fight. It definitely was. When I first saw it, the improvement was against Usyk, and it didn't really blow up because obviously he loses that fight against Usyk. But I thought he's shaping up better. He looks there's something
evolving,
more.
he's
he's evolving.
Yeah,
well put. And then the Joshua fight, the Joshua win, that may always be his biggest moment. He might end up having better performances or beating bigger names, but there'll be nothing in his life that will be what that was, where he's going. He's the champion ring walking first.
Yeah.
He's fighting in Wembley Stadium. Like, he's up against Anthony Joshua, the poster boy of British boxing for a long, long time. Whether though he's had his setbacks or whatnot. And to put in the performance and the dominant display that he did, in some ways it will be as cynical to say it's all downhill from there for Daniel Dubois, but he's got to keep winning.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like when Anthony Joshua knocked out Klitschko. That was kind of his crowning moment, and he's peaked again since then, I suppose. But
never the same.
Not quite the same. Yeah, no. That's true. Good point. All right, what about the main event then? Bivol seems kind of angry with himself after the first performance. It's quite soon after it's only 4 months since the first match, isn't it? Which is a quick turnaround. But can you see it ending out differently?
Yeah, I wonder what he's feeling. Does he feel like he's been left in the cold? Because, that's what happens in boxing. The winners get celebrated, the losers get another fight. I went to the big award ceremony, and Beterbiev was on the main table. Bivol was sat off to the side. A lot of times he was there on his own. He sort of looked a little bit lost. It was all suited and booted, so any one of us could have passed for like a security or a bag boy. But Bivol has got a recognisable face. But I wonder if his nose is out of joint. He's like, hold on, I was on a pound for pound list not that long ago, and I've had one loss that was razor tight, and now I'm out in the cold. I think it wouldn't surprise me if it is close again to a certain degree, and Bivol gets it, and then we see a trilogy.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, he said he's going to be busier. He's going to throw more punches. He's going to be more offensive, more on the front foot, which could leave him open, obviously, to Beterbiev's power. But maybe it's kind of been sizing it up for a more entertaining fight than the first one. The first one was brilliant, spectacular in terms of a boxing sense, but it didn't have any major.
No, there was no moments like that, was there?
Yeah.
And he, I think both guys were cautious of each other's ability, cautious of each other's punch power, and it wasn't like safety first, but there was loads of moments where it was safety first, and boxing off the back foot that Bivol likes to do a lot of the time might have cost him a couple of rounds. Maybe the judges just thought, well, that was razor close, but. Bivol was getting driven back. Beterbiev was driving him back. So I'm giving that round to Beterbiev. So he might think, right, well, I'm not going to take a backward step or not take as many, and I'm going to come with that second wave. So it might be something to draw something, to shoot again, and then he cuts out at a lovely angle really well. Could see a little bit more of that. They might have to roll the dice. It might be close at the halfway stage, and Bivol goes, I'm going to put something on him. I'm going to have to drop him. I have to make a dent in him. And then we see a bit more drama. That would be great.
That would be great. So what's the official George Groves prediction?
I think Bivol wins. I think Bivol wins. I think it might be close again, but I think Bivol wins. And then we see the third one.
Yeah, that's what we need. The trilogy, if it does go that way. One more fight on the card, a kind of lesser fight, but like you said, Big Bang Zhang and Ajit Kabayel, which we haven't really seen a lot of him. The German hope. Kurdish parents, I think, Kurdish history. But yeah, what do you know of him?
Yeah, Kabayel, I mean, he's sort of, for boxing fans, resurgence now, being on a few of these Riyadh season cards. Yeah. And he's done well. He's had a couple of big wins, and but it feels like he's been around for a while. He's
been in the shadows, kind of in the background, hasn't he? He's kind of this is his chance to show what he's got.
He's got a win over Derek Chisora and a few others.
That's
and then he had,
wasn't it 2018, I think.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
It's been a while, I think.
So he's not he's not a huge heavyweight, but he's effective. He's good, and I think because he is in slightly better form. I'd pick him to beat Zhili Zhang, but you know, Zhang is such a monster, huge, hard-hitting southpaw. It must be hard to find sparring to prepare for someone like that.
Yeah,
so
it's just it's just the tank on Zhang, isn't it? I think if you can get him down the back straight, he just kind of runs out of steam, which is what Joseph Parker did to him, to be fair. So maybe he'll be following a similar kind of tactic. I've just got a couple of questions from the viewers. What's next for Gervonta Davis? I think he's got a fight against Lamont Roach coming up, hasn't he? But then that division, the lightweight division, is so stacked. Everyone's got a different belt. Where's he go from now? I think he's been accused of ducking Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah. I mean, the latest I remember with Gervonta Davis, he was talking about retirement. You know, he was hinting at retirement.
Yeah.
He's
the only boxer who's not involved with Riyadh season, isn't he?
Yeah.
Kind of snubbed the offer, said, I want 2 Ferraris. Turkey said, the only thing you'll get is 2 gloves if you come to fight out here. So I think he's kind of made a bit of a difficult situation for himself. So
maybe.
Not sure.
But I'm not entirely sure. The Peterson fight looks good, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Lamont Peterson, yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, we've got Keyshawn Davis, Lomachenko, Tank Davis, and Shakur Stevenson. So we need some kind of unification fights in that division, surely.
Yeah.
Forward.
Yeah. The Keyshawn fight, I haven't seen that yet. I missed that one.
That was a body shot knockout, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's looking good, yeah.
Yeah. Looked quite spectacular by all accounts. So I don't know. Yeah, it remains to be
they're
seen.
good names and good fights. So I think they'll happen. I can't see Tank Davis, you know, passing up them opportunities right now.
Yeah.
He might just be playing it cool. He is of that
still young enough,
Mayweather ilk, isn't he? You know, so he might just be might revel in being difficult.
Yeah. So. Just the kind of the anti-establishment man.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more. Can anyone dethrone Canelo at super middleweight? I think he's fighting William Skull in May, and then obviously Terence Crawford in September. Give Bud a chance there. I think, did we speak about this?
Yeah, no, we haven't spoken about it yet. But you know, I mean, you go against Canelo at your, you know, at risk. You know what I mean? At your peril, because he's been so dominant in super middleweight, so dominant in super middleweight, and I can't see Crawford. You know, you don't want to put a dent in him. You know, he's got to get past Skull first, and I don't think he'll struggle there.
No, it should be all right, shouldn't it?
So, you know, I think we have to get out of the way, and then we can really get into the Crawford fight. But super middleweight, I haven't seen anyone of late who I think is going to give him a run for his money. He still seems like he's in great physical ability.
Yeah, not many miles on the clock, really.
No, you know, it's weird. He does, but he doesn't show it.
Well, that's it. Yeah, he doesn't really take. He doesn't absorb enough punishment, apart from the Bivol fight. That was one, wasn't it? But all right, final question: is women's boxing getting the recognition it deserves?
Cressa. I mean, I keep getting the advert for Cressa Shields' new movie out, so that no doubt that'll be huge.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think Boxer have got this card at the Royal Albert Hall. It's all-female card. So yeah, I think, you know, it was always going to take time because there will be a couple of standout stars, but you know, boxing, you always need a dance partner.
That's it.
And until you've got the dance partner, then it's hard, you know.
That's Clarissa Shields' problem, really, isn't it? There's no one that's on her level or even close to her, really. She still holds belts at middleweight, even though she's heavyweight champion. So,
right.
Yeah, which is a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
So that's it. You know, that's it. And I think women's boxing is still in a really good place, healthy place.
Yeah.
And I think it must be quite alluring for young female fighters because you can climb the rankings really quickly.
That's true.
So, you know, it's going to take time. It's going to take real time. It's still, in my opinion, a very different sport from the men's because it is 10 2-minute rounds. So because it's over 2 minutes, they fight entirely differently than the men do over 3 minutes. Yeah. So let's take the pressure off of women's boxing of trying to compare it to men's boxing. Let's not talk about it like it's exactly the same because it's not. It's 2-minute rounds. So the boxing or the style of boxing that you have to employ over 2 minutes is totally different. And therefore,
is that because you obviously don't have to conserve your energy for the last minute?
They throw a lot. It feels like you watch it. I'm not there counting the punches, but they throw a lot of punches. You don't see as many knockouts. You don't see as many shots being set up. It's more about, and the volume fighters have real success. Some of them, you know, like an Eddie Scotney, you know, are very, very good technical boxers. You know, they shape up really well, and you know, they got great movement, great feet, great punch selection. But she's unified champion. I don't think she's ever had a stoppage.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? They're what you will not find another male. Unified, yeah, with the same stats.
Yeah,
so it's just different sport, different boxing. But I think it's in a real good place. And you know, you see in time and time again loads of females coming through, females doing well, and you know, sometimes the females who are really operating at a high level now, you would almost be at the end of their career if they were males. You know, they could be in their 40s almost.
Right,
so I think that just shows where the talent's coming through, and I think it's in a good place.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of future, a lot of potential there. Just need to see it kind of blossom, and hopefully it will.
And they're getting a great platform. You know, it's on TV. People get behind it, and yeah, you know, you're hearing more. I'm not sure what the participation in sort of grassroots boxing for girls is right now, but I'm sure it must be on the up. It's been on the up since 2012.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're seeing more and more talented girls come through.
Yeah, all right, I think that wraps it up. Look forward to the last crescendo, and we'll be back next month to analyse it and see, but hopefully the Brits do the job. Good luck, Daniel Dubois. Good luck, Hamza Shiraz. And yeah, cheers, George. Thanks again.
Yeah, nice one, Owen.
All right,
cheers, mate.
Thank you.